Welcome to the latest update on China's humanoid robot industry. If you have been paying attention to China recently, you will know that the country is holding its annual 2 sessions. What exactly are they? As the BBC explains, they are China's biggest political gathering. The carefully choreographed annual meetings of the political advisory body, the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, CPPCC, and the national legislature. Many well-known business leaders also serve as NPC deputies. For example, Lei Jun, CEO of Xiaomi, He Xiaopeng, CEO of Xpeng Motors, and Zhou Yunjie, CEO of Haier. All of them mentioned humanoid robots in their speeches or proposals. Lei Jun said that humanoid robots could become the next major intelligent terminal after computers, smartphones, and smart cars. He believes the long-term market potential in China alone could exceed 1 trillion Chinese yuan. China already has some early advantages in humanoid robotics, he noted, but the industry still faces major challenges in large-scale deployment. His priority is to accelerate industrial applications, especially in smart manufacturing, so robots can move from experimental apprentices to practical workers on factory floors. His policy recommendations include improving engineering reliability and mass production capability, expanding factory application scenarios, and building robot-intensive production lines. Zhou Yunjie said, AI development is shifting from perception and cognition toward embodied intelligence, making robots a strategic technology for industrial upgrading. China, he said, is currently at a critical stage between technological breakthrough and industrial adoption. Major bottlenecks include a shortage of high-quality data and simulation platforms, limited real industrial applications, and a lack of unified technical and safety standards. He called for national R&D programs on embodied intelligence, support for core technologies such as multimodal perception and dexterous manipulation, and the creation of national open platforms, data sets, and industrial standards. He Xiaopeng said humanoid robots are entering a key transition from laboratory research to public awareness and commercialization, similar to the early stage of the EV industry a decade ago. Current Chinese humanoid robots perform well in motion control, but still lag behind in advanced brain capabilities such as autonomous reasoning and generalization. He called for stronger support for on-device AI models and computing power, national research funding and tax incentives, and the creation of standardized intelligence levels for humanoid robots, similar to autonomous driving classifications. Now let's turn to financing news. In the last episode, I highlighted the growing support from state-backed investors for the embodied AI sector. We are now seeing more of these investments. Startup Psibot has completed angel and pre-A funding rounds totaling 2 billion yuan, backed by state-owned and industrial capital. The company has developed its own Sci-Sin engine data collection system, which can acquire massive amounts of high-quality, real-world data at a much lower cost than traditional teleoperation methods. Meanwhile, Flexiv has successfully closed its latest funding round, led by Invus, with additional support from Atma Capital and Alphanim. Flexiv focuses on the development and manufacturing of general-purpose adaptive robots. As mentioned in previous episodes, Flexiv is also behind another startup, No Matrix, led by Professor Lu Chewu. Now let's look at standardization. The Humanoid Robots and Embodied Intelligence Standard System 2026 edition has been officially released. This framework represents China's first top-level standard system covering the entire industrial chain and life cycle of humanoid robots. It marks the beginning of a more standardized stage of development for the sector. The standard system was developed by the Humanoid Robots and Embodied Intelligence Standardization Technical Committee under the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, MIIT, together with more than 120 research institutes, companies, and industry users. Now let's look at a recent newspaper report on humanoid robot manufacturing. The Beijing Evening News reported on the Humanoid Robot Innovation Center pilot manufacturing platform in Beijing Economic Technological Development Area. I have mentioned this place many times before. It is an industrial hub and home to many robotics companies, including Beijing, Humanoid, and Xiaopeng. The area hosted the Humanoid Half Marathon last year and will host the next edition next month. The pilot manufacturing platform is designed to bridge research and mass production. Inside this 9,700 square meter facility, AGV robots automatically transport, sort, and distribute parts. Robots are assembled in separate modules: torso, arms, legs, head, and battery, before final integration. There is also a dedicated production line for small batch prototype manufacturing and validation. Interestingly, humanoid robots are already being used inside the facility to assist with material transport and support assembly lines. Finally, here's an overview of the 2025 humanoid robot market based on a report released on March 4th by China Center for Information Industry Development, CCID, and China Electronics News. According to the report, China is now the world's largest humanoid robot market and manufacturing base, supported by strong supply chains, breakthroughs in core technologies, and diverse application scenarios. There are now more than 140 humanoid robot manufacturers in China. Shipments reach about 14,400 units, accounting for 84.7% of global shipments. The top 6 Chinese companies together account for 74.1% of global shipments. They include Unitree Robotics, Psibot, Lei Jun Robotics, Booster Robotics, Noetics Dynamics. Okay, that's all for this episode. I will see you next time.